American Family Radio, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia, 866-300-9298. So, of course, we're focusing on Senator Lindsey Graham, his refusal to defund Obamacare. Bad for the nation. Listen to what Senator Rand Paul said yesterday.
The president doesn't get to write legislation, and it's illegal and unconstitutional for him to try to change legislation by himself. So if he says to you, oh, you're a political contributor of mine, and I know Obamacare is going to be hard on you, I'm going to give you an exemption, that's illegal. That's not equal protection under the law.
Yeah, well, he's talking about another delay in Obamacare, and it is illegal. I don't understand. I do understand why more Republicans aren't coming out against that and holding him accountable, because it's abuse of power. It's an abuse of power. But they're going to continue to allow it because they may need it sometime. They already got the need they had from it. Senator Vitter yesterday told me that he has sent out a letter to all his Republican colleagues saying, look, we got to stand up against this. We cannot be exempt from Obamacare. And we've got to take our own medicine if we believe this is the right thing. This was not right for the president to do this. Now, has he gotten any response from any of them? No, of course they're not. So how can they complain about the abuse of power that Rand Paul was just talking about if they become a beneficiary of the abuse of power? Why defund Obamacare because it's bad for American people when they have no incentive to defund Obamacare? It's one of the reasons why would Lindsey Graham, the only way Lindsey Graham's going to change his mind is if the American people finally get to him and help him to understand that he's going to be out of office if he doesn't change his mind. And trust me, folks, if he's not out of office in November 2014, the next time he comes up for re-election, though it'll be a ways away, I will be reminding everybody once again. Dr. Ben Carson talking about this, the idea of insurance companies and what's happening with Obamacare. Now, this is permeating America. Even Democrats now, the majority of Democrats polled don't want to see this happen. Listen to what Dr. Ben Carson said yesterday.
I think the insurance companies kind of figured that Obama wasn't going to get reelected. They were shocked, and then they kind of figured that maybe the Supreme Court certainly wouldn't uphold this, and then they did, and they're kind of caught with their pants down in this situation. But honestly, we're all caught with our pants down. We're all going to suffer the consequences of this. We keep delaying things. Why don't we just delay the whole bill permanently and come up with a real solution that really is affordable and that really will take care of everybody? I'm sure we can do that. I've talked to a lot of people with a lot of extraordinarily good ideas, and if we didn't make it into a political football, we are Americans, we're capable of solving problems if we really want to.
Yeah, if we really want to, and we don't have legislators that are subject to what lobbyists want and will do what's right for America. But he's absolutely right. This is an easy problem to solve, just like immigration is an easy problem to solve. We want to make it complicated. And as I've said, Marco Rubio, call me. I'll tell you how to solve the problem. I won't take a lot of your time. I can tell you in about 3 minutes. It's not that complicated. And I guarantee it's going to work. I know it's going to work. Just don't call me prepared to argue against my solution, because there is no argument against it. If you care about America, if you care about our economy, and you care about doing what is right. And your response, the senator's response on, well, let's do it because if we don't do it, Obama's going to do it. What is that? Is that what we do now? Well, let's just usher in a Marxist regime then, because if we don't, President Obama's going to do it. Why don't we do that? It's insane logic. Anyway, Dr. Ben Carson. We can come up with real solutions. The American people are innovative and creative. The free market economy is not only innovative and creative, they're driven by profit. They want to make money. They'll come up with a solution. Oh, that's right. We have a ideology in Washington that has worked awfully hard over the last 5 years to demonize American ingenuity, demonize the idea of prophets. So, of course, we can't trust those guys. So why would we do that if we can't trust them? Well, we better get our trust in line, because they're the only ones that we can trust. If we think we can trust the government to control this, we're living in some kind of fantasy dream world. And all we're thinking about is, hey, this is great because it's going to lead to me just laying in a hammock and not needing to do anything. Let me go to Pam. Pam's calling us from Tennessee. Hey, Pam.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I listened to your show in the mornings, and I did not hear the comment about Unaffordable Care Act until today, and I just had to laugh because my husband refuses to call it Obamacare anymore and has been calling it the Unaffordable Care Act. He said if he was going to attach President Obama's name with it, at least call it the Obama Unaffordable Care Act, because that's exactly what it is. Second point would be, I've contacted Boehner. I've contacted him from Tennessee, my two senators, Fincher and Corker. I think that's my senator, representative and senator. I have not contacted Alexander. I've contacted Ted Cruz and just thanked him for having a spine and wish he could do a transplant to the rest of the Republicans. I do not understand what has happened to Republicans. I appreciate what you're doing, and I do not understand, other than it's Washington and they're lifetime politicians, and the only people I've ever heard discuss term limits was John McCain, and I believe he's probably been there longer than anybody else, yet we don't have term limits. So my question to you is, what do we do at this point? I mean, I'm still contacting. I hope that conservatives, and not just conservatives, people that can add and subtract, would do something, because I'm losing my mind thinking about people that are losing their jobs. My brother-in-law works for a large company that sells medical devices, and they're having a conference all week long trying to figure out how many people they can keep or lay off because of this stupid tax. So I probably need to take a chill pill because I'm fixing to implode at any point, and I'll just hang up and listen to your comments. And thank you so much for what you do, Dan.
Thank you, Pam. Join the club. We're all ready to implode. And you know what? You're doing what we all need to do. Here's the only thing that we can do, Pam. Here's the only thing that we can do. First of all, we got to remember a couple things. We've got to remember that we've got a president of the United States of America that got to be senator, got to be president as a result of a grassroots effort. A lot of money, but as a result of a grassroots effort. We've got a governor in Wisconsin that is governor as a result of a grassroots effort. There is power in people. The problem is when you say, Pam, you don't know what's happened to Republicans, I can tell you what's happened. I can answer that question for you. What's happened is that they have been allowed by us, not by anybody else, by the American people. They've been allowed to be weak. They've been allowed to be spineless. They've been allowed to compromise on every value that they once ran upon and that we hold dear. They have been allowed, without any accountability, to run the white flag up the flagpole every single time there's an issue that the Democratic strategists say this is going to hurt you, and they immediately run up the white flag. They've been allowed to do that. They've been allowed to do all these things by the American people. They haven't been allowed. They've been allowed by us. We have allowed them to do that. See, we have been some people out there that are socially, morally, fiscally conservative, like me, have aligned ourselves with the only party that comes close to representing some of the values that we hold dear and near to our hearts. The problem is that because we've aligned ourselves with this particular party, and this goes for the Tea Party as well and some of those candidates, we the people, have such a difficult time saying to ourselves, hey, I was wrong. The guy or the gal is not what I thought he or she was. That person was not what they said they were going to be, and I want them out of there. See, we are so set on dying for the party, we're killing America. We're not called biblically to align ourselves with a particular party. We're called to call them both, everybody, to be right with God, and the Constitution says that we are calling them to do what is right for this great republic that we live in. But we are not doing that. And what we've got to do when we write and call these folks that you're talking about, like you did, we've got to let them know we're not only going to vote for them, we may be calling somebody that's not even in our district, but we need to let them know loud and clear that I am not going to vote for a particular candidate because they represent some stinking party that no longer represents my values. I'm going to vote for the person that represents my values. But that's not the key. The key is not only am I going to vote that way, Mr. Senator, Mr. Congressman, not only am I going to vote that way, I am going to work hard to make sure that I can do everything within my power to make sure you and those like you don't get reelected. Not only withholding my vote, but maybe I can't vote for you, but I can work to make sure that you don't get reelected. See, we've got to start, and I don't know, maybe it's done through the Tea Party movement. I don't know. But somehow there's got, and I'll put it out there. If you want to hold a rally in some city that I am on the air, where I've had thousands of people at town hall meetings, I will get out there and try to help rally the troops. I'm happy to do it. Now, I said that during the last election. 17 times in the last 3 months, or the 3 months leading to the election, I spoke to Tea Party rallies and other rallies. Obviously I couldn't get to all of them. But, we have got to start a grassroots effort. We have got to start talking. How many people out there you told somebody yesterday that, listen, you've got to start listening to the truth. And I know that you might not have an AFR or a station that is carrying some of the network, some of the programming here on American Family Radio Network. But there's a thing called the computer. It's called AFR.net, and you can listen live. There's an app on your phone, AFR app. Listen to AFR Talk Radio. Listen to all day. You can plug it into your phone. If you have a new car, you can plug it into your phone radio, your phone into your radio. But are we telling people, listen, this may be the only place you're hearing the truth, but at least somebody's. We're in 40 states. We're covering it. I'm on a lot of stations by the grace of God, and we're getting to as many people as we possibly can through town hall meetings and such. We're doing 4 town hall meetings here in the fall in Amarillo, Texas, in Tyler, Texas, in Lafayette, Louisiana, in where are we? In Fayetteville, North Carolina. You go to the website, find out where we're going to be. Come out. Let's have a rally. Let's talk about this. Let's get people fired up. I'm inviting candidates or sitting representatives to come out, state their views if they want. We're going to talk about the economy, some things that you've never heard before, even if you listen to me every day. But we've got to start, Pam, a grassroots effort. You got to start it in Tennessee, and we need others to start it. That's how we're going to change. We got to change this. Stop depending on politicians to change it until we change the politicians and we have politicians that care about the people they work for, that care about America, that care about the next generation and not just the next election. We can do it. I know we can do it. All right. We will get back to your financial questions. Listen, I want to hear from you. Look, this is a volatile time in our markets and our economy. And let me tell you something, folks. It's about to get a lot more volatile. If you've got questions, if you want to hear my perspective on the economy, give us a call, 866-300-9298. If you're not following, if you're not partnering with me on the website, there's no better time to do it in these volatile times. You're listening to Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. We'll be right back after the news.